through the things that you should actually be looking for. And it's quite simple. It's really 5 things that you look for. And the first thing that you're going to look for is the band and the tightness of the band. The reason why it'll actually be putting on the loosest setting is because as you wash the bra, it's actually going to stretch. And so as it stretches, you want to be able to make it tighter over the course of time. And so the first thing that you're going to actually check is the band. And you want the band to be fairly tight. And this is actually quite tight on her. And if it's too loose, what's going to actually happen is the band is going to start riding up her back. And once it rides up her back, the straps are going to fall forward. And if they fall forward, then the cup is actually going to start tugging down here. And so the question a lot of times people ask me, well, how tight does it actually need to be? It needs to be tight, but it can't be uncomfortable. So here it is actually quite tight on her. And you also want it to be sitting parallel. So it's not sitting up here, and it's not sitting way down here. This is actually fits fine. Turn around. The other thing that you want to actually make sure is that the center front here is sitting flat against her chest. A lot of times you'll find that women will have the center front sticking out just slightly, so when you actually look down, you can actually see a hole all the way through. And what happens there is that the cup size is actually too small, and what will happen is that this will start riding up. And you'll see a lot of women sitting there tugging at this and trying to move down their bra. That's simply because the cup is actually too small, and it's actually sitting out a little bit like this then. So you want to be sitting center front here. That's number 2. And then the side thing on the side is you want to make sure that the wire here is wide enough and it's actually not hitting the breast tissue but hitting the breast bone. So when you're pressing here, you should feel that it's actually hitting the breast bone, because if it's actually hitting the breast tissue, it's actually going to start hurting after a while. And then the 4th thing that you want to look for, in this particular bra, there's actually a little bit of lace here. And I can actually put on another bra afterwards and show you one that doesn't have lace, but you also want this to sit smoothly. You don't want to actually have a lump here and then another lump as well. A lot of times people call that the double boob. You want it to actually hit nice and smooth here. And the last thing that you want to check is you want to make sure that the straps are tight. So you should be able to stick at least one finger underneath, and it actually should feel some resistance here and not to feel too tight. So if we can just turn around. So 5 things: the band size, the center front, the wire, the cup top here, and then the straps. So these are the 5 things that you want to show. So this is Fifi's sequin dress. And I kind of wanted to actually just point out a couple of things, and then you can actually see the underwear that she's actually wearing underneath. This is a square line. And it's very important when you're wearing a square line is either you're wearing a balconette bra, because a balconette bra, the straps sit very, very wide from each other, or you wear a strapless bra. Because if you wear a 3/4 cut bra or a regular bra, you will definitely see the bra here. And the straps will, and this is also a very narrow strap here. So if you don't actually have some sort of pinning under here to hold the strap, you will definitely see the strap. You will most likely always see this part here as well. And then the other thing that you want to also check too, this is an open back that has a little bit of coverage right here. And the other thing too is that you need to be able to find a bra, that sits perfectly here. When you buy a strapless bra, say if you're 34B, a lot of times it's very good to go in and actually buy a band size that's slightly smaller, so maybe a 32. Because when you wear a bra, a strapless bra, the only thing that's actually going to hold the bra up is the band, and that's it. So you can't rely on the straps. So you want it to be especially tight, because if it's actually not tight enough, this will all start falling down. This is also a Fifi dress as well, and this is actually silk. So wearing silk, you need to actually be very careful. Especially because of all the panty lines and the bra lines, because silk is actually a very revealing type of fabric. And even when a dress is actually lined, like this one is, it actually has lining underneath. But a lot of times you still need to be very, very careful about what type of underwear you wear underneath. And this is actually what I go back to. People spending quite a lot of money on, dresses and clothes, and they need to be very, very careful about what they wear underneath. And what's key here is actually she has no bra line here, so there's no indentation or anything sticking out here. You actually don't see any underwear mark up here. If you just turn around, again, you don't see any type of indentation or underwear mark here at all. And this is actually something that's actually very, very important when wearing a silk dress. So she was actually wearing underneath the aqua dress is Pleasure State's My Fit push-up plunge bra. And actually what's really nice about this bra is its smooth cup shape and its smooth lines. And actually what's really nice about this too, it doesn't show the line here when you're wearing something smooth against the top. And actually what's really great about this bra, it has a graduating cup in here. So even though it's lightly foamed, there's actually padding underneath. Is a Samantha Chang, I forgot what the name was called. It's the My Daily collection, and the reason why Samantha's called it My Daily is because it is pretty much a daily cami that you can wear. And what's really nice about it is that this, the contrasting of lace with the plain material and the cup shape. So again, even if you are actually a small cup, this actually fits quite nicely. And again, you could just wear a plain cami underneath and actually not have any contrasting. But I actually think it's quite nice. You kind of, it's not as solid. It's much more solid here, and you can actually see the lace underneath here. And if you keep it buttoned here, if you button out all the way down. I think it's just quite nice. I don't know if you can see it from afar, but you can definitely see the lace coming through. She's actually wearing the Costa Bella Sweetie bra. This is actually a pull over your head bra, wireless, no padding. It's a soft cup. And this is what the back looks like. Again, as I was mentioning before, Samantha Chang's bralettes. These bralettes are becoming very, very popular because they're actually very, very comfortable. And what's actually really great about this yellow color is this is actually the spring color, shocking neon yellow. And actually we paired it with a very kind of low droop neck top, and so that you can actually see this through. I mean, this is such a great way, to show off a little bit color with a very kind of gray top. Again, you can actually wear this with a white top, something sheer, a little blazer. It does come down to here, and I think it's just nice contrasting.